Okay, everybody, right? Standard costing. So there is a process loss of 5% during the course of manufacture, which means हमारा जो output है that is 95% है. ठीक है ना? So our output, if you look at our output is 10,200 kgs, which is 95%. So the question is, what is 100%? Right? So 100% is 100 by 95 into 10,200. You don't need to put it in decimals. We can take it as rounded off 10,737 units. Which means that our standard quantities for actual production should be aligned to 10,737 units. Normal losses कितना है? 5% है. So इसके ऊपर अगर हम 5% लगाएंगे तो 537 आता है. Which means our actual production is 10,737 minus 537, which is 10,200 kgs. Right, Nihar? तो ये आपका actual production है. Okay, now we have to find out what is the standard quantities required for actual production. देखो एफर्ट जो लगेगा वो पूरे आउटपुट पे लगता है, भले ही उसमें से कुछ लॉस हो जाए. जैसे आपने ऑयल गेट्स इवेपोरेटेड, but the effort that you need to produce something is for the whole thing, na? It's not that I'm making effort only for 95% of production. I am making effort, I am consuming resources, I am consuming time for 100% of my output, not for 95% of my output. So वो जो हमारा जो consumption होगा, that will be aligned to 10,737 kgs of output, not 10,200. भले ही 537 kgs का हमारा नुकसान हुआ है, normal loss. You understand the background, no? So now what we will do, we will break this up 50, 30, 20. Okay, this is your standard mix. So 10,737 into 50%. You can put your, ये बाद में भी लगने वाला है. कहाँ लगेगा? RSQ में लगेगा. 50, 30, 20. So 10,737 into 50%. Then 10,737 into 30%. And 10,737 into 20%. अगर आप इन तीनों को ऐड करोगे तो 10,737 kg आउटपुट का आपको यूनिट कंजम्पशन मिल जाएगा. ठीक है ना? स्टैंडर्ड प्राइसेस यही आया सबको नंबर्स. स्टैंडर्ड प्राइसेस क्या है? दे आर गिवन टू अस 40, 60 and 95 per kg. So 40, 60, 95 per kg. What are the actual quantities? 5,200 kgs, 3,600 kgs, and 1,700 kgs. So that will give you your actual quantity consumed, which is which is 10,500, which is lower than your standard, which means somewhere we will have a positive usage variance. What are the actual prices? Actual prices आपको दिए नहीं है, लेकिन आपको cost दिया है और units दिया है. So if you divide cost divided by units, you will get your prices. So that is 2,34,000 divided by 5200, 219,600 divided by 3600, and 158,100 divided by 1,700. So these are your actual prices. Clear, no? Next, once you have your actual prices and standard prices, what are we going to do next? We can find out the standard cost, which is nothing but standard quantities into standard prices. Drag it down. Take your summation. 6,12,000 is your standard cost, right? एक्चुअल कॉस्ट के लिए एक्चुअल क्वांटिटीज इनटू एक्चुअल प्राइसेस, ड्रैग इट डाउन, take your summation, it is 6,11,700, right? Material cost variance is standard cost minus actual cost. So it will be different for all of them. Take your summation, you will get your cost variance to be 300 rupees favorable because your standard cost is higher. That means आपने अपने actual cost को restrict किया है. It has not exceeded the standard cost. So it's a favorable variance. Price variance formula, standard price minus actual price into actual quantity. ठीक है, that you will do for all. Summation करो, you will get your price variance as 26,200 negative, which means somewhere for some materials we have paid more price than we thought we should have paid. For example, A के लिए we thought we will pay at 40 per kg, we paid 45 per kg. B के लिए we thought we'll pay 60, we paid 61 per kg. C was okay. ठीक है? What is your usage variance? Standard quantity minus actual quantity into standard price. Standard price. Always standard price. Take your total. It's 26,500 positive. So now if you add your price variance and usage variance, what will you get? Is equal to price variance plus usage variance, you will get 300. Which means that we have established that our material cost variance is equal to material price variance plus material usage variance. This is established. है कि नहीं? Minus 26,200 plus 26,500 is positive 300, which is nothing but your material price variance, cost variance. Now we do RSQ. RSQ is revised standard quantities, actual quantities restated in standard proportions. So हमारा जो भी actual quantity है 10,500, we will restate it in actual proportions. So 10,500 into 50%, 10,500 into 30%, and 10,500 into 20%. Now you should always check, इसका summation करके check करो कि ये आना चाहिए 10,500. So this is now your actual quantities which we have restated in standard proportions. Now we can split the usage variance into yield variance and mix variance. So yield variance के लिए SQ minus RSQ, SQ minus RSQ into SP, and the same for all the three. So if you take your summation here, you will get a positive yield variance. That was expected because आपने consumption ही कम किया है. So your yield variance is positive 13,500. What is your mix variance? RSQ minus AQ into SP. So RSQ minus AQ into SP for all the three materials. Drag it down and add it. What do you get? $13,000 positive. अब इन दोनों को अगर आप ऐड करोगे तो क्या आएगा? If you add these two, if you add these two, if I add these two, I am going to get 13,500 plus 13,000, which is 26,500, which is nothing but your usage variance, which means we have now split the usage variance further into yield variance and mix variance, which further, that means we are able to establish the relationship that usage variance is nothing but a mix of, your addition of your yield variance and mix variance. Clear? So that is how you deal with normal losses in standard costing.